Now Rosen on first down. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now let's go! Blue Lightning!
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 16 carries, 68 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3 yards on the pickup there, and they've got it back to 3rd and 10.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's Rosen to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited with lateral-type runs, but the best backs that, even though he's small in stature, some people called him the latest human joystick.
How about that? That'll be fun for Madden players, just 5'6", but as you said, he can move. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Lock in.
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Here's Trubisky to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Lock it.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And Robinson with a big catch. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. Now Trubisky lost the football, and this is recovered by the Cardinals.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit,
Here we go.
and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches. Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. Flush to his right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They run with Howard. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On third down, Trubisky. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
With it on the return is Logan. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their body.
On second down, Rosen got a man. It's the rookie Christian Kirk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Here's Rosen. It's complete to Brown, right side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Man open left side is Brown. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
It's a little bit different size than they're used to seeing in Chicago, playing the middle linebacker position. But undersized or not, his speed is absolutely overwhelming. And when he arrives with a thump. The city of broad shoulders loves Roquan Smith.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Ricky Seals-Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals are just an extra point away from tying this game. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Off the play fake. Here's Trubisky. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Play action. It's Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now let's go.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well. I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
1st down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now it's Trubisky. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 42 yards. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On the move to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Hassan Reddick in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. He got 29 yards that time.
Hurry, hurry.
Trubisky will throw. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help.
And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears are in for 6.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We pick it up 2nd quarter here as the offense gets ready for the drive.
Lock in.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He'll rifle this one deep right and got his man complete. They give him a gain of 38.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Howard with his sights on a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here's 1st and 10.
Gotta go. Lock in.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. He fights him off. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky, eluding the pressure right. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now it's Trubisky. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Second down, Johnson. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A huge play there for Chicago. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, it's Howard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
On first down, Trubisky throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. Here's Trubisky. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the...
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Lock in.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Hurry.
He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed.
In the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Lock in.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep for Gabriel. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 43 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now Trubisky, the quick slant caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Alert.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Trubisky to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Bears on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing here, Trubisky. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way. But I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that drive. 21 yards. Well done. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. Onto the field now come the Bears. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off around the 37. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Now Trubisky to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up second down. They go play action with Trubisky. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Benson Mayowa coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on fourth down. Fighting through pressure. Looking deep for Gabriel. Oh, wide open. Complete. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely.
Let's go, let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great come from behind.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Little watch out like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the grit, do things. I came up.
All all right. Get moving, man. I don't want to see anyone walking around. Winners do not walk. Let's see some hustle out there. 180! All right. Small steps in the right direction. That's what we've been talking about. And you know what? Today you took a lot of those small steps. I'm proud of you. Keep it up.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. What are you hiding?
All right, man, bring it in tight, bring it in tight. Let me tell you something. That was the best practice of the season. Not a single mental mistake.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got to talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Try to ask a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I don't usually get near. Oh, my ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. boss, I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. Wakanda swagger, I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. And none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Lock in.
Running with Howard. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pick.
And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Akeem Hicks. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Second down, Winston. He hits Rodgers in the flat. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Winston on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. The Bears and Bucs, you might recall, met in Tampa week 2 of last year, which was actually the first game for the Buccaneers after Hurricane Irma washed out their opener with Miami. And it was the Bucs who beat Mike Glennon in that game 26-9. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
He's going to get it running right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
The first carry here for Jaquiz Rodgers. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
On 3rd down, Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Aaron Rodgers, an early touchdown pass in that one. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
Sliding out of the pocket. And Winston lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Escaping the pressure right. No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Buccaneers have it. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the leg.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Play action. Now Trubisky. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Lock in.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And he fires one incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
I know our vantage might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. They had a decent move, but brought down quickly just outside of the 5-yard line. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Jameis to throw it. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 3rd down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a 1st down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. If he's saying, hey, run that one back, coach. Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that again.
2 more time.
And they won't.
8 more time.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
It felt like Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback for the Bears, was in the draft room with his general manager because picking up this pass catcher from Memphis, Anthony Miller, made to order for a young quarterback. A nice slot who can make plays like we just saw.
He is fun to watch. Went from being a walk-on at Memphis to completely rewriting the record books out wide. A give to Howard. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Throw aside complete. That's Burton. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Adam Shaheen, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. They'll run it here. This is Rodgers. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Let's go, let's go. Hurry, hurry!
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there of 22. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the 2nd quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free. Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Howard. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
As as we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. First down, Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. And it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Jameis again. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Lynch able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Howard with his sights on a 3rd straight 1,000-yard season to begin his career. Here. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes just out and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
18.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down. And they may be going backward here.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold
Still
right
second
guard.
down.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A huge play there for Chicago. 43 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
On first and goal, Howard. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not.
It'll be a 1st and 10 coming up as this offense takes over possession of the football in the 3rd quarter. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. The last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 5. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 45 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket, because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them.
He's going to get it running right. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard punching it in from a yard away. And the Bears add on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. On first down, they run with Howard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Let's go, let's go. Red, up!
They go counter with Howard. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And he's he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears continue. We are in the fourth and final quarter as the offense will have the football starting this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they've wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, Trubisky over the middle, complete. It's Howard. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go with Howard again. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, this is Howard. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
A big offensive instruction.
MiamiBlack's.